Actual video footage ng kalupitan at pagiging balat sibuyas ni Cory sa ilalim ng kanyang administrasyon muling namataan. Demokrasyang iginigiit ni Cory, isang napakalaking kasinungalingan matapos ipakulong ang dalawang journalist na kumalaban sa kanya. Magandang araw bayan, magandang araw Pilipinas. Panibagong araw na naman at meron na naman tayong pag-uusapan. Ngunit bago ang lahat, kung hindi ka pa nakakapag-subscribe sa aming channel, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell para mas maging updated ka sa mga newly released naming videos. Nakakatawa lamang isipin na ang binansagang ina ng demokrasya ng mga dilawan ang siyang mismong kikitil pala sa kalayaang mamahayag sa bansa. Ito ang naging harap-harapang buwelta ng mga Marcos loyalists sa mga nalalabing kampo ng dilawan, higit lalo na sa mga anak na Cory at Ninoy sa paglantad ng isang lumang video footage kung saan detalyadong makikita kung papaanong tinugis at hinabol ni Cory ang mga journalists na sina Luis Beltran at Max Sullivan na sumalungat sa kanya. Sa naturang video, mapapanood ang pagtistigo ni Cory sa korte kahit na siya'y presidente na ng Pilipinas sa kagustuhang maparusahan ang nasabing mga mamamahayag at upang wala nang maglakas loob pang kumalaban sa kanya. Batay sa pananaliksik ng tanyag na vlogger na si Thinking Pinoy, inakusahan naman na Beltran at Sullivan na nagtaguan nila si Cory sa ilalim ng kama nito noong panahon ng kudeta. Ngunit sa galit ng dating Pangulo, ipinatapon niya sa bilangguan ng dalawa. Ang ginawa na ito ng ina ng mga dalawan ay tinawag na walang kwenta ni TV. Aniya, wala umano ito sa kalingkingan ng mga libelous na propagandang ipinakalat nila upang siraan at bahiran ang pangalan ng mga Marcos. Narito ang aktual na kuha sa nangyaring paglilitis noon sa korte kung saan mapapansing ang mga ikinikilos ni Cory ay hindi akma sa kanyang pagiging presidente.
On the basis of a consideration of a wise public policy, you may excuse the defamation legally on the ground that the possible good from the kind of thing that is being written outweighs the harm in the person defamed.
Yes, sir. The mere fact that I've only filed one libel suit, it does not mean that it is only Mr. Luis Beltran who has criticized me, sir. I believe, just as you, that we have to uphold the freedom of the press, but I hold also that along with the freedom comes a very serious responsibility and obligation, sir.
That was the point I was driving at.
Use your microphone.
Why? Why did you single out Mr. Beltran? If, as you say, others have been writing ill against you.
Well, because it is only Mr. Beltran who wrote what I believed was a blatant lie, because he wrote that I hid under the bed, and in fact, he wrote, if you will recall, purporting to say that this was an established fact, sir.
That, madam, with all due respect, is the best answer that you can give to my question.
Already answered, Your Honor.
No, I'm asking her if that is the best answer that she can give to my question.
All right, let her answer.
Whatever answers I give you today, sir, those are my best answers, and those are the answers that I believe are true and come from both my heart and my mind, sir.
Does your government, your administration adhere to the principle laid down in the United States versus Bustos case, the landmark case on libel, which says complete liberty to comment on the conduct of public men is a scalpel in the case of free speech? The sharp incision of its probe relieves the abscesses of officialdom. Men in public life may suffer under a hostile and an unjust accusation, but the wound can be assuaged with the balm of a clear conscience. A public officer must not be too thin-skinned. Does your administration adhere to that principle?
Objection, Your Honor. That is already a question of law which is being interpreted by the Supreme Court or the Judicial Department of our government as to whether or not the Executive Department adheres to that, adheres to it or not, is immaterial because it is the Supreme Court that enforces the interpretation of law in the country.
She is being asked if she adheres to that principle, if her government adheres to that principle. All right, we will allow the question.
Yes, sir. The Aquino administration adheres to that principle, sir.
Thank you, Madam. And now, for my last two questions. It is a fact, Madam, that you are the one who appointed the Honorable Ramon Macasyar, presiding over this trial, as judge of the Regional Trial Court of Manila.
Immaterial. Yeah. Objection, Your Honor, it is already immaterial because it is of judicial knowledge that the Executive Department is different, separate branch from the judiciary.
All right.
It's a
Just to
question of
satisfy counsel, I will say that I was appointed for the first time in 1983 by President Marcos.
My question, Your Honor, was...
Just a moment.
Yeah.
Then the President, when she came into power, asked every one of us to resign. Then one by one we were reappointed. That is what happened. That is historical. But I do not owe anybody my position in this court, if that is what you are trying to drive out.
No, I'm not trying to drive at anything, Your Honor.
And that is
Otherwise, I would call Your Honor to the witness stand and question Your Honor yourself.
well, that is a public record already.
So with that admission, I will withdraw the question.
Very well. Thank you.
Last question. In the event His Honor is promoted to the Court of Appeals, it will have to be with your imprimatur. Is that correct, Madam?
Objection, Your Honor, that's already immaterial and hypothetical, Your Honor.
Again, if the court will take judicial notice of that fact, I will withdraw.
I will sustain the objection. That is immaterial. The power of the President to appoint is not at issue in this case.
No, certainly not, Your
She
Honor.
may not appoint me.
What is at issue here
That is her...
are the 1,001 human factors that may enter into the trial of a case.
well,
And I'm entitled to put into record my own impressions of these factors.
all right. I respect your view.
That is all, Madam. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Cross-examination on the part of defendants Maximus Sullivan and his companions.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Your Honor, on behalf of the defendants Sullivan, Manzanas, Agawili, and Roses, we would just like to make this statement that the President, who is the last witness for the prosecution, has not, either in her direct testimony or in the cross conducted by the able counsel of Mr. Beltran, said anything that concerns my clients, Mr. Max Sullivan and Mr. Tony Roses, Godofredo Manzanas, and Ricky Agawili. The prosecution, Your Honor, charges my clients with a conspiracy to libel the President. If this honorable court will recall, we did stipulate, and it came out in its pretrial order of February 27, 1990, that for a judgment of conviction to be rendered against my clients, the prosecution must show beyond reasonable doubt knowledge, specific acts or participation and complicity of the accused Maximo Sullivan, Antonio Roses, Frederick Agawili, and Godofredo Manzanas in the preparation and writing of the column containing the supposedly libelous article. The prosecution, Your Honor, has not presented any witness, and the President is its last witness, who has
Just a moment.
testified,
May I cut
Your
you?
Honor.
May I cut you? Are you not going to cross-examine the President?
Yes, Your Honor, because
You will?
we will just state, Your Honor, that because the last witness has not stated anything
I would suggest
to show,
that
we
you-
will not, Your Honor, cross
All right.
the President
All
today.
right. You may take that manifestation that you have made before the court in a proper motion or in your memorandum.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Any redirect?
We would like to
on the part of the prosecution.
we would like to manifest that there is no redirect question. And if you
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Witness. You are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are you ready now to offer your evidence this afternoon?
Yes, Your Honor, in order to
Do so, please.
Thank you, Madam President.
I'll make it formal.
hindi ka rin papayagan. Hindi ka rin papayagan.
All right. Offer.
Anong masasabi niyo ukol rito, mga kababayan? Just comment it down below sa comment section and give a massive thumbs up kung nagustuhan mo ang paksang ating tinalakay. At huwag kalilimutang mag-subscribe sa channel na ito. Maraming salamat sa inyong walang sawang panonood.